students, it's Mr. Sargent here with your day 107 recap video for ELA and for science. In ELA today, we focused on, in ELA and in science today, we focused on what it means to research, what it means to find information, and what it means to share information. We read some poems in ELA today, and we tried to make connections with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Then we had you research your Black history figure for our informational paragraph that we're going to write tomorrow. So I'll share with you some places that you can go to find that information. And in science today, we talked about the deciduous forest. And I cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen. So sit back and let's start learning. So, ladies and gentlemen, in ELA, we started today by talking about connections. Now, we have talked about connections a lot this year. And the first thing that I wanted to do was make a connection with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, as well as the book that we read, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the March on Washington, and some other sources and some other resources that we can look at to see if there's any connections. Now, we already know a lot about Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. He had a dream of being together, of working together, and everyone being treated fair and equal. Now, knowing that, we're going to take a look at another piece of literature here. Now, this is a poem by an incredible poet by the name of Langston Hughes. And I highly suggest, if you get a chance to learn about Langston Hughes' life, maybe some of his other poetry, they are really, really good. But I want you to see after reading this if you can make a connection. So let's go ahead and read it together. Dreams by Langston Hughes. Now already we've made a connection. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about having a dream. Langston Hughes is writing about dreams. So we already have a connection, don't we? Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren frozen with snow. Life is a barren field frozen with snow. Now, how does that poem make you feel? It seems a little down, doesn't it? It talks about life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Life is a barren field frozen with snow. Those aren't really warming images, are they? They're not really happy images, are they? Well, if I told you that this poem was a happy poem, well, we can prove it. Take a look at the beginning of the poem. It says, hold fast to dreams. What does it mean to hold fast to something? You hold it close. You do not let it go, ladies and gentlemen. And what Langston Hughes is saying right here is never let go of your dream. All right? Now, questions I have for you, and if you look further down on this page, you will see on this activity, I've created 4 questions for you. What does the poet think about dreams? Well, we kind of got that, didn't we, from that first sentence. How do you think the poet is feeling? Well, that's a good question. I'm going to leave that one up to you. The big question is number 3. Do you think Martin Luther King Jr. would agree with the poet? Now, once again, I'm going to leave that up to you, but after talking about what we just talked about, do you think that Dr. Martin Luther King agreed with this poet? Like I said, I'm going to leave it up to you. And finally, I want to know what you thought about it. So, on this activity, which you can find in the description below, and I've sent on Google Classroom as well as Class Dojo, I want to know your answers. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're feeling about this poem. I cannot wait to read your answers. Now, the second part of class today was dedicated to our Black history informational paragraph that we're going to be writing tomorrow. Now, we have no writing to do today. And for this project, remember, it's not a big poster. It's not a big project. We're just going to find a way to share our information in paragraph form. So, to connect from what we did yesterday, you all chose a Black history figure to write about. And if you didn't, check out yesterday's video. There's a link to the description for yesterday's work, where all you have to do is find one person to find information about. Because what we did today was we found ways to look for that information. Now, the first place, that's a great place to find information, is Epic. Now on Epic, there is an entire section dedicated to the people of the Black History Month and learning about biographies about them and important facts. So I highly suggest you try your search there first. Now, if you cannot find a book about your person, go to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, with parent permission, of course, and research and find videos that talk about your person. But you need to be listening to their facts. You need to be listening to their information because, well, it's kind of important. That's why we're doing this. And the third place you can go, well, there are some websites, and I'm putting some in the description below, that have great biographies on every figure that we're talking about this week. Now, remember, you're not to write a paragraph yet. You're just to find cool information about your person. We're going to bring that information to class tomorrow. And if you need any help, just message me, and I am more than willing to help you out in any way that I can. Whether it's showing you some websites to go to, finding a book that I can send to you, however I can help, ladies and gentlemen, don't hesitate to ask. Now, for science today, I want to give a huge shout out to Eli, who have kept me in check. Told me today, yesterday's video was boring. I had to skip through it. I agree, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday's video was boring. It was rushed. I'm always going to be honest with you. So today, we're going to slow it down. We're going to have some fun with it. And we're going to talk about the deciduous forest.
Yeah!
All right. Now, in class today, I had you teach me what you know about the deciduous forest. And it was quite a lot, ladies and gentlemen. But the first thing that we did was we compared it to what we learned about the Amazon rainforest. Now, we know the Amazon rainforest has about 80 inches of rain every year. It's hot. It's humid. You can find it at the equator. It's got animals like the macaw and the parrots and the jaguar. Oh, yeah. The jaguar lives in the jungle or in the rainforest as well. But then we took a look at the deciduous forest. And we did this by reading a book that we found on Epic called Let's Visit the Deciduous Forest. So in this book, ladies and gentlemen, there was some incredible information, and I highly suggest you check it out. And there's a reason I want you to check it out too, because at the end of class, I gave this assignment. If you look at it, it's a chart. Uh-oh. What do we do here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, on this chart, what you do is you fill it out with facts about the deciduous forest. We have the climate, we have the animals, we have the plant life, and the location. Now, the location is where they are found. But what we're going to do today, and I don't do this that often, is we are going to go over every single answer and where to find this information and put it up on our chart. So let's get to work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you look behind me, here is page 6 and 7 of our book, Let's Visit the Deciduous Forest. So let's go ahead and read this together, and let's see if we can fill out any of our chart just with the information that we have here. Welcome to fall in the deciduous forest. This biome changes each season. Can you think about what a season is? Well, we have winter, which we're going through right now. I'm looking out the window and we're covered in ice, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? We're definitely in winter right now. After winter, we have spring, we have summer, and we have fall. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our climate. We are, when I say we, because we live in the deciduous forest. The deciduous forest is the only biome whose climate has 4 seasons. They have a cold winter, they have a warm spring, a hot summer, and a cool fall. So in this first part of your chart, go ahead and put 4 seasons. All right? Like I said, it's the only biome that has the 4 seasons. Now, I think we have an answer on this next page too, on page 7. The deciduous forests are found mostly in North America, Asia, and Europe. North America, Asia, and Europe. Which one of these things in the chart would that fit? If you said location, you are correct. Where do we find deciduous forest? Well, we have it right here. North America, Asia, and Europe. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the part that says location on your chart, you're gonna put North America, Asia, and Europe. Okay? So there's two answers just already done just on these 2 pages. Let's see if we can find the other 2. So I have an idea right now. Sure, I want you to read this book, but aren't the pictures just as important? Yes, absolutely. Whenever there's pictures in a story or pictures in a book, we definitely need to be looking at those. So we have 2 things left in our chart to fill out. We have what animals live there and what plants live there. Now let's take a look starting on page 11 just at the pictures. So if you see right here, what is this a picture of? Very good, it's a raccoon. Can we put raccoon in the animals chart? Absolutely. Well, let's keep turning the page. I see some bird nests, so it has birds. And look at that, it's a chipmunk. Can we put birds and chipmunks as animals that live in the deciduous forest? Absolutely. Let's keep looking. Maybe there's more. There's another bird. There's an owl. We could definitely put owl down. If I keep going, there's a woodpecker. Wait a minute. Look at page 17. There's a fox, ladies and gentlemen. We can definitely put fox down. Now, what's interesting about the fox, ladies and gentlemen, is they live in a lot of biomes. They live in the Arctic. They live everywhere, okay? They are survivors. So we can definitely put fox in our animals. And if we keep going, there's some more right there. We got a white-tailed deer, and we got some squirrels. These are all great animals to put down, but your own experience might be good enough. If you've ever been out in the woods, you can tell what kind of animals live there. Go ahead and write them in that part of the chart, and I cannot wait to see what animals you come up with. By the way, will elephants be in there? Will rhinoceroses be in there? Probably not, right? But other animals will. Now we have one part of the chart left, ladies and gentlemen, and that's plants. This one is super easy, okay? Here's what we put. If you take a look at this page, and we're gonna actually go back a little bit to page 8. Trees lose their leaves in fall. You may be asking yourself, okay, what does that have to do? Well, the plants that live in deciduous forest are trees that lose their leaves. Okay? Now think about this. Now there are other plants out there too, but the big ones are trees that lose their leaves, because think about the rainforest. Do the rainforests lose their leaves? No, they don't. Their leaves don't even change color because they don't have seasons, do they? All right. Do the desert have trees that have leaves on them? No, we're going to learn about the desert next week, but no, they don't. Does the Arctic? No. And definitely the taiga, which I cannot wait to learn about, definitely doesn't have trees that lose their leaves. What makes the deciduous forest unique and different is, well, they have trees that lose their leaves. So for the final part of your chart, go ahead and write trees that lose their leaves, and then you're done. Make sure your name's on it and feel free to turn it in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, great job. If you missed any of the answers for our science chart today, rewind this video, rewatch this video, go back and find it. Or you can look it up in the book that is on Epic. Once again, you guys did an incredible job today, and I want to thank Eli for calling me out. Making this video has been so much fun today. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to see each and every one of you tomorrow. So until then, have a great night.